on E.T., look who's back.
I literally couldn't resist it.
From Cosby to Ted Danson, Rhea to Mr. Fox, the TV call this fall is for star power.
I have never seen this many television stars coming back.
Plus,
lap dancing?
Crude characters, suggestive scenes.
Great sex doesn't have to be that kind of loud moaning and groaning.
Primetime comedy goes across the cutting edge.
If we don't live up to that, then we stink.
Some of TV's new comedy comes from the stand-up stage.
Oh my God. You're Eddie Murphy.
As the great acting tradition gets passed on.
I could have been a contender.
Instead of a bum. Which is what I am.
And now, leading ladies are getting the last laugh.
There are great roles for women in television.
From police to prosecutors, from outer space to spaced out in school.
I'm what your parents are paying a lot of money to keep you away from.
It's a galaxy of new shows across the TV dial.
I get to professionally show off.
On our hour-long Entertainment Tonight Fall TV preview.
Patty, I have to go save a network.
Yeah, there they go.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to this special edition of Entertainment Tonight. I'm Bob Goen.
And I'm Julie Moran. Thanks for joining us. Well, in the next hour, we'll be taking you to studio sets all over Hollywood to give you a peek at all that's new on TV this fall. But we begin with a few new shows featuring some very familiar faces. Look who's back in prime time. It's this weekend's ET cover story. You can be forgiven for thinking that this new TV season looks a lot like an old TV season. That's because many new shows feature a truckload of familiar stars.
It's a total avalanche this year. I have never seen this many television stars coming back.
I got a year's work. I swear to God, it's like, I got a year's work.
Job security and a chance to work with wife Mary Steenburgen on Ink lured Cheer star Ted Danson back. But longtime co-star Rhea Perlman says she's starring in Pearl because she missed the scene.
It's like another home. That's the great feeling about a TV show. It's kind of another family.
Family Ties star Michael J. Fox is returning as a deputy mayor in Spin City. He says the New York-based show keeps him and his family close together.
You know, your family and your children and their needs dictate to you, what's best.
Michael's TV sister, Justine Bateman, is also back in Men Behaving Badly. But The Cosby Show is sending 3 of its stars back into prime time.
I'm here. Hi. And I'm happy.
Bill Cosby and Felicia Rashad are husband and wife again on Cosby. And their son, Malcolm Jamal Warner, can be seen on Malcolm and Eddie.
Major.
Major Dad's Gerald McCraney is headed toward Promised Land, a spinoff from Touched by an Angel. Designing Women's Annie Potts takes over the Michelle Pfeiffer role in the TV version of Dangerous Minds.
I couldn't not want to do this. I literally couldn't resist it.
You look great.
Hey, thanks. Yeah.
Sherman Hemsley hopes his new show, Good Behavior, repeats the long-running success of Amen and The Jeffersons, if only to prove a point.
Even on TV, they say 18 to 49. That's the only people to watch television. So I got to show them that the people over 50 are still watching something, you know?
And while they all seem happy to be back, they may have forgotten just how tough a job it can be.
At my age, it's a lot of pressure.
Well, of all these returning TV veterans, odds makers are putting their money on Michael J. Fox and his show Spin City as the fall season's runaway hit, and it debuts Tuesday night at 9:30 on ABC.
Well, as much as the networks like to rely on those familiar faces to lure audiences, they also try to shake things up each fall with shows like nothing you've seen before. You might love them, you might hate them, but as Chris Raggi reports, you will definitely take notice of this fall's crop of new shows which push the envelope.
I'm freezing my ass off.
I did not sleep with him. I used other powers of persuasion.
Lap dancing?
The sex was consensual when we started. But what about after she fell asleep?
They are going for shocks along with the laughs. New network shows including Public Morals, Lush Life, and Men Behaving Badly are venturing into territory once reserved for cable.
We've been going out together for 6 years. We've learned that great sex doesn't have to be that kind of loud moaning and groaning.
She fell asleep in the middle again?
Men Behaving Badly, starring Rob Schneider and Ron Eldard, shows 2 bachelors in all their crude and rude glory.
Do you feel as though there's any time where you're kind of, I don't know, cutting it a little close, pushing the envelope a little too much, or do you think that, hey, sky's the limit?
I mean, if it's men behaving badly, if we don't live up to that, then we stink. It's an adult show.
Yeah.
It's not a show. I don't want a show for, you know, just for little kids to see that makes everybody happy. Oh, what a nice show.
Yeah.
I want just something that makes me laugh.
What do you feel like?
How about horse?
Numbers, slots, whores, transvestites, I'm easy.
How about horse?
The series, Public Morals, makes the NYPD seem real blue. It follows the colorful undercover cops who run the Vice Squad.
It's certainly nothing more shocking than they hear every day, walking probably around their own kitchen.
What size you anyway? You, medium?
Petite.
Yeah, and I'm a virgin.
Jana Marie Hupp says some of the humor comes from, well, more men behaving badly.
Because, of course, we're walking around dressed as whores and hookers most of the time, you know, undercover, and so that just gives them more of the opportunity to be the slime balls that they are.
George, I need coffee.
What, you doing a full juice porno?
Of course, women are equally adept at shock TV. On Lush Life, Lori Petty and Karen Parsons are two lifelong friends capable of breaking into Karen's estranged husband's house.
How do you move on your back like that?
I do it all the time.
Karen says that Lori's hard-drinking, wild-living character shows that this season, women can behave badly too.
She does anything she wants. She says what she wants. She lives this very rich, full, lush life.
Well, it's clear the producers of these shows want to push the envelope. Looks like they're doing a pretty good job. But the networks let them know when they've gone too far. The first episode of Public Morals was rewritten and reshot to delete language that was too vulgar for network television. Bob, Julie, it's going to be an interesting season.
Only pushed the envelope so far.
That's right. Thanks, Chris. Well, this season, many new shows will play out on time-tested turf. The tough guy cop and the shrewd attorney have long been staples on primetime. And this fall, the networks are taking their cameras back to the courtrooms and the main streets.
What you do is kind of get into the mind of the killer.
Ally Walker stars in Profiler, a one-hour drama on NBC. She's a member of a task force that goes after criminals. Longtime movie bad guy Robert Davi is Walker's boss. Even though Davi is Mr. Serious and the storylines are heavy, there is room for humor.
We've tried to find some humor within the context of the stories in the characters as we can, and Davi is just hysterically funny, so it comes in handy. But yeah, fun profiling, nutty profiling.
But there's little room for humor in Easy Streets on CBS. Ken Olin stars as a police officer with a lousy reputation who goes underground to get the real bad guys.
Somebody's daughter, Manny.
Peter Strauss plays a police psychiatrist in the CBS drama Maloney. It's a role that gives the veteran actor lots of room to roam.
I have the world of being a cop and the world of being a shrink. I'm half Irish, I'm half Jewish. Right there are four completely different things to play.
In Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Scott Bakula and Maria Bello star as two super hip world-class spies who join forces on CBS to pursue international criminals.
Lots of banter, lots of tension, lots of, hopefully, you know, there's a lot of sexuality involved in the show.
Stand-up comedian Greg Giraldo stars as the lawyer in the ABC comedy Common Law.
Francis, you're calling from jail? Wow, what a great connection.
And Robin Givens stars as the lawyer in the UPN comedy Sparks. Her partners are two brothers who not only give the firm its name, but are constantly fighting over her.
The idea is to have a little sexual tension, i.e. sparks, happening all the time.
You know, there's so many new shows, it's like we've got to watch for weeks just to,
just to keep up. Absolutely, yeah.
And just to make sure they get all the cop stuff right, producers of the CBS show Maloney are working with the real-life Los Angeles Police Department and their psychologists.
Absolutely. Well, coming up for us next, new network shows from lots of living rooms.
Up next, if you lose this job, you owe me 6 months of Sundays in church.
Everywhere you turn on the dial this fall, it's a family thing.
I think we're kind of like the Brady Bunch meets Family Ties meets the 90s.
Plus, from the stand-up stage to sitcom stardom.
I'm their hero. I can talk Stone Temple Pilots with them, you know?
What's a big-time movie career worth?
An American Buffalo. Well, thank you.
Dennis Franz plays two-bit crook with scuzzy Dustin Hoffman.
When you look like me, anything might be an improvement.
Plus,
the clothes are so much fun. It's kind of like playing dress-up every day.
They're the latest lucky ladies to land on prime time. Our Woman Watch for fall coming up.
You know, being a
supermodel isn't all that bad. I hear they make great money.
Sure, if you want to be a vacuous twiglet who regurgitates food in designer underwear.
Well, speaking of vacuous, why don't you grab a broom and clean up this mess?
Do they really regurgitate the food?
That's the new Fox family show, Love and Marriage. You know, the world's oldest advice for writers is write what you know. And who doesn't know about the trials and tribulations of life in a family? Well, maybe that's why there are so many new shows once again this fall which are bound by family ties. Mark Steinis reports.
From the nuclear to the extended, the blue collar to the blended, families are proving their value to network programmers. And this fall, there's no shortage to choose from.
May I please see the blessing now?
What's your hurry? You got a date?
I hope he doesn't, because I need the car.
The importance of family values is right at the core of Seventh Heaven, a new hour-long drama that stars Stephen Collins and Catherine Hicks as a progressive minister and his wife who've got their hands full with 5 kids.
If you lose this job, you owe me 6 months of Sundays in church. I don't think families who want to watch TV with their kids have had a lot of things to tune into in the last few years.
I got 15 minutes before work, so that's 5 minutes on family updates, 3 minutes on jobs, 2 minutes on bills, past due only, and that leaves us 5 whole minutes to...
Let's go.
The pressures of modern life where both parents work and somehow manage to raise the kids is played for laughs in Love and Marriage, a new sitcom that also has the distinction of being the only new series to feature a regular cast member with multiple body piercings.
Dad, supermodels embody all that is evil.
Patricia Healy and Tony Dennison play the beleaguered mom and dad, and Tony says the show's funny because it's real.
You can take yourself seriously up to a point, and then it's time to sit back and watch how silly we can be.
Are you here tonight or at your dad's?
Here, I'm there on Wednesday.
Sarah?
I'm here through Friday.
Oh, me too. And if I like it, I'll be back next week.
And lastly, for those who've been craving a show that speaks for the millions of blended families out there where stepkids abound, Something So Right may just fit the bill.
I think we're kind of like the Brady Bunch meets Family Ties meets the 90s.
30-something's Mel Harris stars opposite Dear John's Jerry Burns as a couple with 4 marriages and 3 kids between them. Keeping up with it all takes some doing.
So we're not the Waltons.
Yeah, producers love to gamble on shows featuring families, and they should, since they've got such a great track record with audiences. Just one of many past examples, that classic, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. It spent 14 seasons on the air. Bob and Julie?
Okay,
thanks, Mark. Well, another new family show this fall features a stand-up comic who's a dad in real life. Ray Romano's new CBS show gives him all the family he can handle, and then some.
Hey, this dish has a crack in it.
Romano's a dad to twins +1, and Patricia Heaton plays his wife on Everybody Loves Raymond. But a pair of 1-year-olds on the set means baby wrangling becomes a full-time job.
Can you say E.T.? E.T. Yeah, close enough.
So where'd the wild dad to twins notion come from?
This show is based on my real life, in which I have a 5-year-old and twin 3-year-olds. So there's a piece of cake, because as soon as they cry, hand them away.
But the kids are only half the story. The other half is Ray's extended family who lives across the street. His mom, played by Doris Roberts.
I brought you some baking soda for your fridge. I smelled something questionable.
There's Ray's dad, played by Peter Boyle, who has a gentle touch with the show's writing staff.
Be all right, we'll change it. We'll change it. We'll change it.
And then there's Ray's brother, played by Brad Garrett, a big guy happy to make the move from the stand-up comedy stage.
I think I might have broken through. It isn't as exciting as working the Chuckle Hut or the Gag Silo. But, you know, Doris just really wanted to work with me. She saw me in a Jews on Ice back in Albany, and she said, there's a big man that can move.
The result on Ray's set is a 3-ring circus, which finds Boyle teaching young actress Madeline Sweeten his best Brando.
I could have been a contender.
Instead of a bum. Which is what let's face it.
And, of course, everyone works hard to upstage everyone else.
Oh, guys.
I'm asking Brad if he will be on my hair replacement infomercial. He said yes.
I would love to. Mary Kay.
Okay.
Hey, Ray, we're talking about dysfunctional families.
All
And
right,
if it's really...
Patty and I have to go save a network.
Yeah, there they go. I'm good.
And now that Ray's a big TV star on The Verge, what's the reaction back home?
My mother's thrilled about it. My mother's got flyers out in the neighborhood. You know, until the first bad review comes in, she loves it.
The kids are just too adorable on that show.
That Brando, I love that.
I love that Brando. And if you want to check out Ray Romano and his three-ring circus, the show is called Everybody Loves Raymond, and it will air Fridays at 8:30 on CBS.
Well, most of us can identify with those family situations coming to prime time, and the networks are also hoping that we will all recall our days in school. This season, there is a whole classroom full of shows built in and around the hallowed halls of learning.
I'm back in school, and I'm big.
Everywhere you turn, TV is going back to school with shows hoping to stand tall in Ratings 101.
Hey, man, what is with those kids? They don't raise their hands, they don't sit down, they don't act nothing like the kids on TV.
The Steve Harvey Show stars who else? Steve Harvey. He plays a struggling musician who takes a job as a high school music teacher.
It's about me teaching the kids a lot more about life than music, really.
Life lessons don't come any harder than in the one-hour drama Dangerous Minds.
You're all angry because the world's not fair. You tell me about it. You think a woman who's in the Marines doesn't know about that?
Earlier, we showed you Annie Potts' return. She stars in the role originated by Michelle Pfeiffer.
I just felt this is so important for all kids.
And for her return in Pearl, Rhea Perlman matches wits with a fearsome professor played by Malcolm McDowell.
Keats, you see, could eat alphabet soup and expel better poetry than Thomas More.
When he first spoke those words, and they came out of his mouth, and he was Professor Pynchon.
Frino. Nick Frino, licensed teacher.
Stand-up comedian Mitch Mullaney is a junior high substitute like no other in Nick Frino, licensed teacher.
This is kind of the teacher I would want to have or want to be.
Yes, Luke. Away from the dark side you must turn.
Mitch has a heartfelt message for all his former teachers watching this fall.
Ha ha! You hate your job. We love ours. You said we'd never make it! We're here!
They made it. They made it. They're here.
Come a long way since Mr. Novak, haven't they? Yeah. That guy, by the way, with Mitch is his co-star Clinton Jackson. They're both playing teachers, but the two of them actually went to high school together in Oakland.
Wow. Hey, I feel like I went to high school with you.
We feel like I've known you a long time. Yes.
And coming up, we've got more funny guys fueling prime time. Up next, stand-up comics turn to sitcoms to bring home the bacon.
I'm talking real bacon, greasy bacon, kind of stuff that killed our grandparents.
They're the seasoned pros bringing laughs to prime time. Next.
And Monday on ET, Heather Locklear spooks the Muppets. But what'll Miss Piggy do about Heather and Kermit?
Ever been stalked by a pig?
Not many.
Plus, Bill's back. When Cosby returns, will he again conquer prime time? That's Monday.
Look at all the black people out here.
That is wild man Jamie Foxx, who has a brand new show this fall on the WB. Now, Jamie comes to TV from the stand-up comedy circuit, but he is only one of a crowd of comics who've made the transition this fall. Seinfeld did it, Tim Allen did it, so did Roseanne. Now they hope they're next.
Hey now.
Stand-up comic and In Living Color star Jamie Foxx has the lead role in the new comedy series, none other than The Jamie Foxx Show.
The show basically is this: a young guy that comes from Terrell, Texas. I'm from Terrell, Texas. Comes to LA to try to make it. I came to LA to try to make it.
I'm gonna be working and everything, but I'm gonna be pursuing my acting career, because I got skills.
Stand-up helps you in the sense of the timing. You know how to deliver a joke.
Like this white lady was outside looking at me, and I knew she didn't know who I was. They think we look alike sometimes, because she was looking at me like, oh my God. Oh my God. You're Eddie Murphy.
Jamie Foxx wasn't the only one to graduate from stand-up to sitcom. Comic Mike O'Malley stars in Life with Roger, about how two opposite guys can become the best of friends.
You know why I love this place? It's got the best bacon in the sea. I'm talking real bacon, greasy bacon, kind of stuff that killed our grandparents, huh?
I'm coming.
Comic Lisa Ann Walter is an assistant state's attorney who juggles her career with her life as a wife and a mother.
Good boy. Hey.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, that little boy just took my son's toy. Maybe you can help me.
Oh, I'd love to, but it's not that simple.
Really?
really, because I think between the two of us, we could probably take them.
Lisa Ann's real life as career woman, wife, and mother was also the basis for her material on the stand-up comic circuit.
When I was starting comedy, I was one of the only women working out of New York that had children. All the things that I was touching on, I think, really struck a nerve.
So is Lisa Ann enjoying her new life as a sitcom star?
This is the payoff. You know, I get to professionally show off. It's so cool. You know, I get paid for, like, messing around.
Okay, get a pencil now. You got one?
Got pens.
Pens,
yeah,
okay. Jamie Foxx's show airs Wednesday nights at 9:30 on the WB.
The WWWB, also
Right.
Michael Malley's show on the WWWB airs Sundays at 9:30.
And you can find Lisa Ann Walter's show Life's Work Tuesday nights at 8:30 on ABC.
All right. Well, we have shown you some of the stand-up comics headed to sitcoms, and earlier we showed you some new shows set in the classroom. So why not both? Tom Rhodes has played comedy clubs in 48 states, and now as he takes his act and his long locks back to school, we have pegged Tom as a surefire scene stealer.
It's dangerous times we're living in America, huh, folks? Do you feel it? We had more people die in our post offices than in all of Europe last year.
Stand-up sensation Tom Rhodes has been slaying audiences nationwide with his warped view of society. Now he's moving his act to the head of the class.
Somebody give that man a TV show. My name is Tom Rhodes, and I've got your real teacher tied up in my trunk.
Now Tom is Mr. Rhodes, a new teacher shaking up a stuffy academy with his wild approach to schooling.
Are you really our teacher?
Yes, baby. I'm what your parents are paying a lot of money to keep you away from.
E.T. was there as the cast rehearsed one of its first episodes, and Tom let us in on the secret to Mr. Rhodes' bond with his students.
I'm their hero because I listen to the same records. I can talk Stone Temple Pilots with them, you know?
Stephen Tobolowsky, Amanda Reeves, and former Wing star Farrah Forkey lend their talents to the show, and Tom is thrilled to be working with one of his favorites, Barney Miller's Ron Glass.
Don't mind me, just here to see if I can pick up any pointers. Party on.
Well, me and my mom and my sister used to watch Barney Miller, and we'd dance whenever that song would come on. Doom, doo-doo-doom. And it was like a big thrill. And anybody who says TV isn't, you know, good is stupid because it brought our little family together.
He told me about it, which is very, you know, it's very flattering. And then I met his sister, and his sister kind of corroborated it, you know, so I guess it's true.
Looks good.
It does. It looks like it could be a hit, yeah. It's funny, though, because Tom knew all along that he wanted to do this sort of thing. He wanted to do comedy, so he actually made himself a fake ID when he was 17 so that he could perform in comedy clubs.
Did you ever make a fake ID?
Yeah, it wasn't for performing in clubs. It was a different situation with me.
I was an angel,
yeah,
right?
Of course you were.
Tom's show, Mr. Rhodes, airs Mondays at 8:30 on NBC, and it's time for a quick break, but then we're coming back with two guys who are chasing a nickel. Up next...
2, 3. Hello, entertainment tonight.
Dustin Hoffman and Dennis Franz, two lowlifes hatching a plot in American Buffalo.
Now on E.T., Dennis Franz and Dustin Hoffman are a couple of thugs, but Franz is one of Dustin's fans.
He's nuts, and he's great.
The 60s rock era is a hair-raising experience.
You had some weight. Yeah. No, 90% of my performance was hair, I think.
And young Anna Paquin gets airborne with geese, but she's begun to take a gander at the guys.
You've noticed that boys exist, though, at this point.
Our fall TV preview continues with Brooke Shields leading the charge of Ladies to Prime Time.
Her clumsiness and her awkwardness is something that people can identify with.
And from Kyle...
Or whatever happens, I'll just go with the punches.
To Allie...
Yeah, I'm ready.
To David.
It's exhausting sometimes.
There are picks as the hot new fall faces to watch.
Wanting more of Kyle Chandler. Oh, boy.
The aliens are invading.
Does this look Russian to you?
It's a full assault on prime time, whether you want some serious UFO searching.
You don't know who's an alien or where an alien could be.
Or you're chasing those homeboys from outer space.
It's wild, wacky.
Welcome Welcome back to this special fall TV preview edition of Entertainment Tonight, everybody. I'm Julie Moran.
And I'm Bob Goen, and we'll get right back to the hottest new shows television has to offer in just a bit. But right now, we have big screen news for you. Emmy winner Dennis Franz and Oscar winner Dustin Hoffman are co-starring in a new movie. And Leonard Maltin is on the trail of their American Buffalo in this ET exclusive.
You're thinking I'm out there alone. You're worried I'll rattle, so you ask me how I go in. I understand. I see this. I do. I could go in a drain pipe.
Dustin Hoffman and Dennis Franz are two small-time wannabe crooks in American Buffalo. They're out to steal a rare buffalo nickel and other coins. Hoffman talked to Leonard Maltin about his ponytail and his very unkempt look in the film.
You think it's good business call Fletch in? Yes! Well, then okay.
You don't mind changing your look from one character to the next?
I think I would mind changing my look if I was really perfect looking. You know, but when you look like me, anything might be an improvement.
What is he doing here?
What'd your kids think of the ponytail?
They like it. They liked the way I looked. They couldn't believe I was talking so dirty, but using the F curse words, the F word.
Now tell me about working with Dustin Hoffman.
He's nuts, and he's great. This guy he's so full of wonderful stories, as I'm sure you know.
The movie is based on David Mamet's intense play, but Dustin kept the mood light on the set, here with the nieces of the director.
1, 2, 3. Hello, entertainment tonight.
What do you think a 1929 S. Lincoln head penny with the wheat on the back is worth?
I don't know if you'll get an Oscar for this. I think it's an Oscar-worthy performance, but I want you to know that you've at least earned an American Buffalo.
Well,
nickel.
thank you. I can put this in a frame and I can keep it. Thank you, Leonard.
That's on behalf of me and your fans at Entertainment Tonight.
Well, I'm touched. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Leonard. And American Buffalo is in theaters now.
Grace of My Heart is a pop music movie drama that turns back the clock to the rockin' 60s. The legendary Brill Building in New York City was music central in those days, so naturally that's just the right spot for our interview with Grace of My Heart stars Ileana Douglas and John Turturro. Ileana Douglas plays a singer-songwriter who works at the legendary Brill Building in the 50s and 60s in Grace of My Heart. She's managed by John Turturro in the movie.
You haven't written a single song since you got caught up with this guy. He's made you forget about yourself, your work, your dreams.
This is the Hit Factory right here?
Yes, this is it. Brill Building, Hit Factory.
1619.
We took Ileana and John to the Brill Building and then to a 50s diner to talk about the film. Ileana says she based her part on a lot of women.
A lot of Joni Mitchell we put in there. Cher, of course, we had some Cher. But I got everybody. I got a little Barbara Streisand and a little Liza. I got a little Liza. I could point out different things.
I based the look on, not the character, but the look on Phil Spector. That was really my hair, you know. She said it was a wig. And I wanted to say this on live television. It was not a wig.
Both performers go through a lot of different styles as the years change in the film.
You had some wigs on.
No, 90% of my performance was hair, I think.
Ileana and John knew about the musical history of the Brill Building for different reasons.
I actually even used to work at the Brill Building, which is sort of funny. I had a job there.
I knew stories from my mom, actually, because my mom's brothers are musicians, and she used to hang out there in the 40s. She was always telling me all these stories about all these sleazy music managers who should try to pick her up.
Now with a big premiere and positive word on the film, Grace could end up somewhere else.
People were coming up to me last night and saying that we should do it as a musical on Broadway.
On Broadway?
Yeah, Grace of My Heart, the musical.
And Grace of My Heart is new in theaters this weekend.
Academy Award winner Anna Paquin is flying high in her new movie, and her ground speed is pretty good as well. She managed to keep up with E.T.'s Lisa Canning on a combination interview shopping spree.
Nice to meet you. Oh my goodness, you cut your hair. I mean, you really cut your hair.
Yeah, I really cut.
Well, let's see. Oh, I like it. See, I'm into the short thing too.
Young Oscar winner Anna Paquin hails from New Zealand. So on her swing through town, I just had to take the girls shopping, Hollywood style.
Oh yeah. That's a keeper.
Now, I think that is you.
You think?
In her movie, Fly Away Home, Anna, with long hair, bonds with a flock of geese. For their survival, she must teach them how to migrate.
Look! You're really flying with me!
What is it
about this movie that made you decide you want to do it?
It's a really lovely story, and I just wanted to.
Fly Away Home is actually based on a true story. Making the movie, Anna got to know her feathered co-stars pretty well.
Yeah, they were very, very friendly geese, and they kind of got to know everyone. I mean, they were very friendly around all people.
How about flying? Because you do a lot of flying in the movie, too.
Well, I didn't actually fly the airplane, of course.
Shh, don't tell him.
Of course I didn't.
You flew.
I didn't.
You flew.
I didn't.
You flew.
The world got to know Anna when at age 11 she became an Oscar winner for her role in The Piano. Believe me, fame has not gone to her head.
It's just a statue.
Oh, it's just a statue.
It is.
Do you appreciate it more now that you're older?
Not really.
Really? What do you use as a, you know?
It's sitting in a drawer.
It's sitting in a drawer. Do people ask for your autograph?
Sometimes. I've got used to it, but it's kind of odd.
Really?
Because, I mean, it's just someone's signature, my signature on a piece of paper.
You're 14 now. Are you kind of checking out boys these days, Anna? I got a boyfriend or something?
Not at the moment.
But you've noticed that boys exist, though, at this point.
Now that's a fun girl. Anna confessed to me that she is a bit of a shopaholic. We bonded on that.
Yes,
she loves to buy things when she comes to Hollywood and take them home to all of her friends in New Zealand. Fly Away Home is in theaters now and definitely worth seeing with the family.
Well, that's nice. I wish I had friends who bought me things to take home.
Me too, yeah.
Well, if you moved to New Zealand, you might
I
have
got
something.
it right.
Yeah, that's the
Thanks,
key.
Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
And we have lots more lovely young ladies to come with short hair and long as our weekend edition of E.T. flies right along.
Up next, who is that girl?
No parties.
Sure, we know Brooke and Molly, but Christine, Melissa, and Rachel?
Witches are coming back in a big way.
It's the ladies' time on Prime Time. Up next.
People will hopefully watch this young woman grow and hopefully grow along with her through all of the experiences that she has.
And Brooke Shields invades NBC's must-see lineup with her sitcom Suddenly Susan. But she's not going it alone. Besides Brooke, the new fall season features a slew of other women networking alongside her. E.T.'s Jan Carl joined the movement.
The Susan who stands before you is not the same Susan who was engaged to Kip.
She's not?
Now that Susan is gone, dead. Well, not really dead. I mean, I'm speaking symbolically, of course.
Brooke Shields is a little dingy and suddenly single in her NBC sitcom, Suddenly Susan.
Really, she tries very hard. She just doesn't always succeed. And her clumsiness and her awkwardness is something that people can identify with.
Melissa Joan Hart casts her spell as ABC's Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
I read the comic and I thought it was really smart, and I thought I could really identify with this character. But I also, of course, looked at it and said, wow, that looks like me, you know?
Christine Taylor is nothing like her character, who whoops it up as Fox's party girl.
No parties. No parties for me. This is what she keeps in her refrigerator. It's all about having nice, cool perfume.
It's not about cool perfume, but being cool. That's the priority for ABC's clueless Rachel Blanchard.
Was I really that blonde? The clothes are so much fun. It's kind of like playing dress up every day, and you're just in a completely different, situation. It's getting to play a character, I guess, so different from myself.
Molly Ringwald told us she likes just being herself in ABC's Townies.
It's really funny, like the show ends here, and then I go and I just live the same thing in my own life.
ABC's Relativity takes a serious turn as it looks honestly at relationships in the 90s. Kimberly Williams is proud to be starring in the dramatic show.
There are great roles for women in television, and that's this part on the show is one of the best parts for women that I've read out of the scripts that I've gotten. So that's definitely a trend that I hope continues.
Brooke Shields is getting plenty of exposure for the launch of her new show, Suddenly Susan. Try total exposure on the cover of Rolling Stone. Here's that cover with an uncovered Brooke on newsstands now. No word from her Tennessee's fiancé, Andre Agassi, on his feelings about Brooke's appearance in her birthday suit. Julie, Bob?
I'm sure he loves it.
Probably does.
Thanks, Jen. Last year, we had the good sense to tag Almost Perfect's Nancy Travis as a fall season face to watch. And this year, we picked a few more for you. Allie Walker, Kyle Chandler, and David Conrad may not yet be household names, but they're all up-and-comers who could have the talent to stay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Ali Walker stars in The Profiler as a forensic psychologist who tracks criminals by picturing the crime in her mind. Though she's not a newcomer to the small screen, Ali says she's ready to become a household name. Maybe.
People recognize me for different things that I've done. I don't think on the level that this will probably be if it's successful, but, you know, I mean, I'm just, I don't really care. I mean, I hope that it doesn't, like, get obnoxious or anything like that.
It's exhausting sometimes.
Exhaustion is exactly what stardom will bring for sexy David Conrad, who stars opposite Kimberly Williams in Relativity. But David isn't so sure he's ready for what could be waiting for him on the horizon.
The friends of mine who are sort of in the public eye, whenever we go out and somebody comes over, I'm always like, gosh, it must be so tough to constantly be recognized but not known. You know, that no one really knows you, but they know your persona. That's hard.
Wanting more of Kyle Chandler. Oh, boy.
You'll definitely want more of Kyle Chandler, the handsome star of the CBS drama Early Edition. Like a true celebrity, Kyle says he's ready to take it all in stride.
If I was going to worry about all these things, I'd have a headache half the day. So whatever happens, I'll just go with the punches.
Interestingly, before they were faces to watch, they were everything else. David Conrad at one time worked for an historical society interviewing retired steelworkers. And Ali Walker chose acting over a career in genetic biology.
And Ali Walker and I made a Clarion makeup ad together many years ago.
Wow, 2 careers she's dropped now.
I guess so.
Great.
Well, genetics helps when it comes to landing a lead part in silk stockings. The USA Cable Network series is back with 2 new co-stars, both as beautiful as you can get, and debuting on TV this weekend to lead ET's Celebrity Central.
Silk Stockings kicks off this fall, staying true to its sultry form, exploring crimes of passion. New leads Chris Potter and Janet Gunn play dueling detectives. Potter, best known for starring in the series Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, faces some exciting new challenges. Photos from Hollywood's past, shot by legendary screen actor Yul Brynner. The photos are collected in a coffee table book. It hits stores this Monday.
I felt like it was a visual diary. He was not somebody who kept notes or letters.
It's a good day in cable television. It's a happy day.
Nominees were announced this week for the 18th annual Cable Ace Awards. The Larry Sanders Show swept up with a total of 15 nominations.
I can't check the swelling if you don't let me touch it.
I'm sorry. I can't concentrate when you're touching me.
And the often scorned Howard Stern should be ready to celebrate after his 2 Cable Ace nominations.
What are you uptight about? Come here.
You're really out of your mind, aren't you, Howard? You've lost.
Look how uptight he is. Look how uptight he is.
He really wanted to kiss you. He desperately wanted it.
I was going to call his bluff, and I thought, no, he may not be faking, so I had to back off.
I'm glad you stuck with your
Says my wife.
vision. Howard's 2 nominations were for the E! Entertainment television broadcast of his radio show. Now, will he win? I think he might. Find out when the Cable Ace Awards air on TNT November 16th, and Howard's movie Private Parts goes public next February.
Right. Now, when I visited him on that set, Howard was completely out of his mind, as you could tell. Now we are taking you out of this world. Up next,
I put myself in his head.
First came the X-Files, and now all manner of otherworldly phenomenon.
We've always known that out there somewhere was a monster waiting to destroy the human race.
It's our walk on the weird side for fall. Up next.
Celebrating a birthday this weekend. On Saturday, actress Kimberly Williams turns 25. Murphy Brown's Faith Ford is 32. Actor Sam Neill turns 49. And Star Trek's Walter Koenig is 60.
On Sunday, Tommy Lee Jones turns 50. Actor and sportscaster Merlin Olsen is 56. Comedian Norm Crosby is 69 years old. And actor and director Jackie Cooper turns 74. Like aliens invading from another planet, the out-of-this-world success of the X-Files has started an all-out spawning season for supernatural-themed programs this fall, and especially for the new show Millennium. The X truly marks the spot.
I see what the killers see.
What, like a psychic?
No. I put myself in his head.
From the creator of The X-Files comes Millennium. This dramatic thriller joins the Fox Friday night lineup and stars Lance Henriksen as an ex-FBI agent with crime-solving telepathic ability.
I don't carry guns or badges, and I don't arrest anybody. But what I will do is consult.
Mind Power will also rule on NBC Saturday nights.
I am not going to be your little science experiment anymore, Sidney.
In The Pretender, Michael T. Weiss plays a genius who's been trained by an ominous group to use his exceptional intelligence to master any profession. Thrills follow when he flees.
They want me back because I'm much too expensive and have far too much information to be allowed to be running around the world.
What's this?
CBS is playing its own mind games on Saturday night. Early Edition will go head-to-head against The Pretender. In this drama, Kyle Chandler stars as an ordinary guy forced into action when he's delivered tomorrow's newspapers today.
When he tries to solve one problem, it could cause an effect of other problems occurring. So he has to be careful in what he does.
We've always known that out there somewhere was a monster waiting to destroy the human race.
Tuesday on UPN brings The Burning Zone. The show features an elite biocrisis team battling modern-day plagues.
And also, it's paranormal, so it could be a whole host of different alien things that we battle against each week.
And NBC's Dark Skies takes on Aliens with a twist.
Tell me, Mr. Longard, does this look Russian to you?
No question about whether aliens exist. Dark Skies probes how extraterrestrial beings could have played a chilling part in history and how the government might perpetrate a cover-up. The series is set in the 1960s and stars Eric Close and Megan Ward.
It's a very paranoid show. There will always be, I think, a scare factor to it because you don't know who's an alien or where an alien could be.
But aliens play for laughs on UPN's Homeboys from Outer Space. This zany sitcom stars stand-up comic Flex and Daryl M. Bell.
In our many years of intergalactic battle, we've been through worse scrapes than this.
Homeboys in Outer Space is wild, wacky.
We're bringing back the Mork and Mindy era.
Well, it is clear that Hollywood is throwing some high-priced special effects wizardry into these shows. Todd Masters is in charge of the effects for the new NBC alien show Dark Skies, and he previously worked his magic on big-budget movies like The Addams Family and Mortal Kombat and Look Who's Talking.
Everyone's waiting to see Madonna as Evita, and Monday on ET, we have your first look at the Material Girl's amazing Evita layout in Vogue.
The photos show Madonna at the height of Evita's 40s fashion, but she speaks in the magazine about everything from motherhood to former flame Dennis Rodman.
She said she felt sorry for him. You know, he has several screws loose.
It's Madonna Monday, and next weekend on ET, Bruce Willis shoots him up, and Natasha Henstridge goes from Van Damme to the Hollywood jungle.
That's when the glamorous part comes.
Plus Shawn Michaels from center ring to centerfold next weekend on ET.